Well, a couple of thoughts. First, very difficult series. Game one, what happened in game one was very fluky, and it put us in position to lead the series at the beginning. That was a real key to it. And this group has been special, pulling off some very special things, and so we don't take it for granted at all. The Knicks were an unreal opponent, tough-minded, always coming at you. After the game, they showed great class with all the interactions that I had with all those guys. I mentioned the job that Tibbs has done there. He's turned the culture completely, flipped from what it was, and so to be able to win the series the way we did today at home in front of our fans is huge. You never want to go back on the road in Game 7, and so we're grateful. We're grateful for a lot of things today. Our guys just decided that it was going to be our kind of game. It was going to be a fast game, and we kept speed in the game, and they kept coming. And we get up 15, and then all of a sudden there's a turnover, a turned ankle, and then it's 9. And it was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But two resilient teams, and we were able to be resilient once again tonight. So once again, very, very grateful. Congratulations to Pascal. So deserving. Guy's been a rock of consistency all year. And a lot of guys contributed to this game. Thomas Bryant, you talk about a guy that has a great spirit and stays ready. I mean, his threes and his block shots and his rebounds and his running, it was all pivotal stuff. So anyway, questions?
Rick, how did you find yourself feeling or find the balance of emotions when the final buzzer sounds between this being a big deal accomplishment, happiness, and knowing you guys still have a final series ahead of you?
Well, this is the 6th time that I've been to an NBA Finals, 3 as a player, 1 as an assistant coach, 2nd time as a head coach. This is no time to be popping champagne. And when you get to this point of the season, it's 2 teams and it's one goal, and so it becomes an all or nothing thing. And we understand the magnitude of the opponent. Oklahoma City has been dominant all year long, with capital letters in the word dominant. Defensively, they're historically great. And they got all kinds of guys that can score. It's 2 teams that have similar structures, slightly different styles, but Oklahoma's playing faster this year. And so I think it has the makings of a great series. To me, it's from a coaching perspective, it's 2 teams that are fun to watch and fun to watch compete. So, we're looking forward to the challenge, and they have the MVP. And so that's always an important thing.
You talked about keeping speed and pace in the game. Obviously, the big way you did that is creating a bunch of turnovers. I think 18, and you turned those into 34. I guess, just considering the total arc of this rebuilding project, what all you had to do to get the defense to be where it is. I guess how sort of, I don't know if it's rewarding or what even to say about it, but it's the defense that drives the train in this one and puts you guys in position to play the game the way you want to play.
Yeah, I mean, we just can't celebrate too much. It's, you ask a question like we've accomplished something, and getting to the NBA Finals is an accomplishment. But if you start looking at it that way, you'll go into it with the wrong mindset. Our defense is something we've been working on steadfastly for over a year and a half. I mean, really, the year started last year with really a different set of rules. We were playing small and even faster. It wasn't a team that had great defenders, but we've gotten better defenders. We've gotten bigger. We got Pascal, and the guys co-signed on the importance of defense, and everybody has participated in the growth. And, Oklahoma will present some very tough challenges defensively for us.
Drew had 6 of those steals. It seems like he flipped him over Brunson pretty early. What made you decide to go with that matchup, and just what you like what you got from him all around today, but especially as far as creating turnovers?
Yeah, I just had a strong belief that he was going to have a big game today or tonight. It feels like a day. I don't know why, but it's almost midnight. And the other thing is getting him on Brunson created a natural cross match to keep OG off of him. And OG is, he's like the silent killer on their team. I mean, he's very hard to score on. He's a guy that doesn't get enough credit as a scorer. And, after timeouts, they were going to him almost every time. He's scoring almost every time. And defensively, he's a beast. And so, Drew really took the challenge. Aaron had fouls really from the beginning of the game. And when he got his first, it made the switch a naturally easy decision.
What do you know about Jarris Walker at this point? I just saw him on crutches.
It's an ankle. He's on crutches. So, we'll see. He's young. That's good. And I did not see a replay of the play, so I don't know how far it turned over, how much weight. But when a guy goes down and stays down like that, you're always holding your breath.
Hey, Rick. Been around you guys now since the start of the Cleveland series, and I don't recall you addressing this. But you guys were 10-15 in December, and now you're here. And I know you don't want to talk about this as an accomplishment yet because you have more work to do. But when did you start to realize that this was possible?
Well, we were 10-15, and Nembhard missed 15 games, and we were 5-10 in those games. And so you saw the impact of Nembhard tonight. And so we didn't have Nembhard. We didn't have Neesmith. We lost Shepard for a good stretch there. And there were some games where we were starting two-way players. Quentin Jackson got some starts, actually played very well for us. Enrique Freeman started one or two games. Johnny Furphy was in the rotation, and Furphy's going to be a good rotation player for the Pacers. But these guys are very young. And so, we're a team that is an ecosystem. We're very dependent on the collective ingredients for the whole team to function at its best. And, when we're without guys that don't appear to be stars, but they're important in support roles for the stars, then you struggle. And then we had a B schedule because of that Paris trip. We had all the tough games early. Excuse me. We had compressed schedule, and it was a confluence of difficult forces. Is there a water, Mike? Water? What else?
Yeah, Rick, when you look at what Thomas Bryant did tonight, does that sort of typify? I mean, he came in because Bradley was hurt, I assume. But does that sort of typify what this team has become about?
It does. And look, Thomas has an indomitable spirit as a person and a player. Even when he's not in the rotation, he's over there in a defensive stance on the sidelines. And he is into it. And he is ready. He is ready. And, he's had a flair. He's had a flair for these moments. He had a big game in Game 5 of the Cleveland series at Cleveland. He had a steal for a dunk. He had a putback. He made a big three in the corner. The threes that he made today were enormously important and very timely. And so staying ready. Jarris Walker, staying ready. I mean, he was one of the bright spots of the Game 5 debacle. He went in there. He was actually a plus in the game and hit a couple shots and did good things. And so, look, we played, 11 or 12 guys. And, Bradley was available, but was unable to really extend and run full court, full speed. And so it just seemed to me that it just didn't make sense. And so, Thomas got right in there, got a block, and made some good things happen, hit some free throws, and, he was key.
What do you remember about some of the conversations in 21 when you guys embarked on this rebuild? And how surprised are you that it's come so fast?
Well, if you have the right player to build around, it can happen much faster than you think. And so getting Tyrese made it very clear what our identity as a team needed to be. We needed to be a fast-paced team with shooting. And we had some good shooting at the time, but, when we did the Brogdon trade, that brought Neesmith on board. Nembhard was a developing player. Mathurin shoots the ball well. Walker shoots the ball well. And Shepard is a guy that is a great runner and a great shooter. And then look, the Siakam trade took things to another level. And it took Pascal, a couple of weeks to get integrated because, they weren't playing this fast in Toronto. But he did, and he got integrated while Tyrese was coming back from the hamstring last year. And, there were some clunky moments. And we were on the West Coast at the time. And so, but, we got it together down the stretch, and we won our last game of the season to avoid the play-in. And we're able to go on a run, and, certainly we were aided by the fact that there were some missing players with other teams, but you still got to win the games. You still got to go into Madison Square Garden and win Game 7, and on the road. And those guys did that, and we had a humbling experience against Boston, but we learned some things, and those things have helped us this year.